guys, it's Jessica with Expressions Vinyl, and today I'm going to show you how to weed out a piece of vinyl that is huge. So this whole sign that we're going to apply is 4 by 4. This one section is 12 by 4, about 40 inches. So I have cut a weeding box around my design, and I'm going to show you how I weed that out. And then we're also going to apply some transfer tape to it, and I'll show you how I get that started. So I'm just using my utility knife. And I'm going to go slow. And you can see I have a lot of blank space, but that is because we are lining this up with other pieces. And I want to keep my spacing so they're all even. So I'm just going to keep this ball in my hand so it doesn't fall back down on my letters that I've already weeded. And just go slow all the way down the design. And then when I get to a point, I'm going to take this end and roll it up and then keep going. So just go nice and slow, making sure your vinyl doesn't fall back on itself. And if it does, just slowly peel it back off. It's not a big deal. This is removable vinyl, so it's great for walls. So now I've got that all weeded out. I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to trim around where that weeding box was. So I have nice straight edges. That's going to help me when I apply it to the wall to keep everything nice and straight and even up. So I'm just going to take a section at a time and trim off those edges right along that line there. And roll it down when I get to the end of my cutting mat. Now we've got it weeded out and our edges all trimmed off. I am going to start the transfer tape. So I've got my one end rolled up down here so it doesn't get in the way. And I've got my edge here. And I'm just going to pull out a little bit of transfer tape from my roll and lay it across, probably about 8 inches or so, and make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to rub it down. And we're going to take our application tool and make sure we get it nice and rubbed down there. And then I'm going to take another section and go down, again about 8 inches, and just lightly press it down with my hand and use your application tool and rub it down. Now we've got this section, we're running out of cutting mat, so I'm going to trim my tape off as far as I can so we can take it and do another section. So I'm just using my utility knife and cutting off the edges of the transfer tape. And I'm going to lift this up and roll it back down and keep doing the same thing all the way down. Just roll out a little bit of the transfer tape, rub it down with your hand so you don't have any bubbles or crinkles, and then rub it down with your application tool. And just keep going as far as you can. What we've done here is we've already kind of got it set up. I took my measuring tape and I measured from the ceiling, got it right up in the corner there, and measured to about 40 inches. And then I'm going to go over to this side and make sure that matches and it's nice and even. And then we've taped it to the wall to hold it. And now I am going to hinge it and take off the paper backing and apply it to the wall. So I just need to grab a piece of transfer tape and I am going to hinge it from the top here. So we've got it nice and level and we're just going to make sure this is nice and adhered to the wall. So I'm going to peel off this edge here and I'm going to peel off my paper backing. And I'm just going to do half of it right now. And then I'm going to cut my paper backing off so we can adhere this part to the wall. And it is a beast, so it's kind of difficult to work with, but make sure it's nice and straight and just put it back on the wall. And push it down so you don't get any bubbles in it. I'm going to take my application tool and I'm going to rub this section down. And I am using Oracal 631 It's got the removable adhesive and it works really great for walls. Now I'm gonna go over to this side and I'm gonna peel it off and I'm gonna do the same thing. Peel off my paper backing so it exposes the vinyl. And as I go, I'm gonna rub it down with my application tool. And just go nice and slow and make sure all your vinyl's coming up off that paper backing. And rub it down as you go so you don't get any bubbles in it. All right, we've got that on there nice and straight. I'm just gonna go back over it, make sure we've got it on there good. And then I'm going to peel off my transfer tape. And you'll notice I have a little stripe over here. It's actually not part of the design, but it is part of helping me keep all my different sections straight. So I will show you more about that in a minute. So as you go and peel off your transfer tape, just make sure your vinyl's sticking to the wall. You can rub it down if you need to. You can also take your knife and peel off the transfer tape as you go if it's getting in your way. And I am just going to take this a section at a time because it's having a hard time sticking. Just pull it down like that. And then go back over and make sure it's all stuck down. And go over and do the next section. Same thing. And if a part like that comes off onto your transfer tape, just rub it back down. And then push on your transfer tape as you go, so you're pushing that back to the wall. So now we have this section on. It was really kind of tedious because it's such a big piece, a big solid piece. So we took our time and went really slow, and now we're gonna add the next piece onto the top of it. So I gotta go refer to my cheat sheet. And the next one says to love. So that one is right here. So I'm gonna line up my lines right here with each other on either side. So I'm gonna grab some transfer tape and do my hinges like I did before. So this time I don't need to measure on the ceiling because I'm gonna just line up these guys right here. Adhere that to the wall and then come over to this side and make sure they line up right on top of each other. So they're kind of my cheat marks. Adjust this one down just a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same thing as we did with this bottom one. We're gonna put our hinges on and keep applying it to the wall. So that was a beast to put up, but we've got it all up. It looks awesome. And now I'm gonna show you right here, we had to go over our electrical box. So I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna trim right on the edge of that. And I'm gonna trim on the other side. And we are gonna peel that off so we can still use it. Like it was never even there. Okay, and now we're gonna peel off our little guidelines here, because that wasn't part of the design. It was just to help us line up all our pieces. So that is how you install a ginormous piece of vinyl. Leave us a comment if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.